Tell you what, folks, I don't know if it's good or bad to go last. That's a pretty tough act to follow. And I just wanted to let you know that there's a lot of seats in the front row, and in my class, the A's get sit in the front row, then the B's, then the C's. And you folks back there, you get a no credit. We obviously appreciate the opportunity to be here, and we're going to try to do this in the less than allotted time, so here we go.
This sign welcomes visitors to our tree farm. And our family consists of our 2 daughters, their husbands, 5 grandchildren, ages 3 to 15. They're all here except the 3-year-old twins.
The reason they're not here is because that's like herding cats. Okay?
and Denise and Dennis have a certified tree farm that's adjacent to one of our properties.
We're located in extreme northwest Ohio, where the big red circle is there. It's right on the edge of what was known as a Great Black Swamp. When the glaciers receded, it was pretty wet. And when pioneers came in, they literally drained the swamp. We have 2 parcels, what, 33 acre and a 23 acre. And I just want to comment about, you notice the windbreak sign there and the wetland sign. I took a tree farm sign to our Soil and Water District meeting when we first became a tree farm. I started attending the Soil and Water Committee meetings because I knew when you live in a corn, wheat, soybean, manure management area, they don't know beans about wood. So I started attending their meetings, and I took this tree farm sign, and I suggested that they ought to make a similar sign or something like that to advertise their programs. And lo and behold, of course, I got the job, right? And I said I was willing to do it. I did all the research, and after about 6 months, I helped them spend over $9,000 worth of signs. But it really turned out to be excellent because lots of people will see one of those signs and they'll call in and they'll say, hey, how do I get a wetland? Or, you know, how do I get a riparian, a buffer? And so it actually has been a very good idea.
Why do we have a tree farm? Because, well, we like to walk in the pine woods and the trails, but we purchased the original 33-acre property in 1966 because Walt always wanted a place of his own to hunt rabbits and squirrels. An additional 23 acres was purchased in 1996, a mile south of us, for a total of 56 acres. Now, 45 years later, we own it because we like.
We figured you all could read. That's a real mushroom, isn't it? We started out in '66. Believe it or not, I cut the first trail in the woods with a hand lawnmower. I did. I wanted to walk in the woods, but you couldn't. So I literally pushed a hand lawnmower through there. And then we planted windbreaks. In our area, I mentioned the Great Black Swamp. That means sand. And in those days, we plowed, and the sand would literally drift across the road. Now, not quite like this snow here, but if you notice that the area that's circled, that was the windbreak after about 6 years. And the next picture is in the winter of 2010, and you can see how the pines have grown, and believe me, it doesn't drift on the road like that anymore. We also had entered into a windbreak program in '88, and this one, we had 17 acres that was tillable, and this is in a few years after we planted it, but we ended up planting trees on each side of that field bisect because I didn't have time to show you the pictures, but a farmer, when you got a 12-row corn planter, you're really not smart when you divide the field into 2 8-acre parcels. So he didn't want to farm it anymore. In 1990, we became certified as a tree farm. And we also had a huge blowdown. We had inline winds. That's a fancy name for a non-tornado, but just as bad. And we uprooted over 20 trees, almost like the hurricane pictures you saw earlier. And we brought in a porta sawmill and had a nice salvage operation. And then we utilized this. We mentioned our daughter's tree farm. We built a barn down there, and that's what it looks like today. And then a year ago, the Eagle Scout project is the Scouts built the shelter there, and then in 1993 we started the tree planting, and we planted the 17 acres to between 8,000 and 10,000 trees, probably 12,000 when you consider the replanting that took place. And here's the two of the grandkids when they were pretty small, stomping in trees. Just a couple pictures of what it looks like today. Notice that steel saw I mentioned. This is what the pruned white pines look like. They need some more work, but they're starting to look pretty good. The blowdown was attributed to too much water retention in the woods, and the Soil and Water folks and the Division of Wildlife came up with the idea of building a green tree marsh. Most people don't know what that is. That's a fancy name for a controlled wetland. Okay, a green tree marsh is more romantic, you know, a nice name. This showing a little bit of the construction and makes great habitat. That's a wood duck box. Kids use it for ice skating. In 2004, we had a timber harvest, and we had some pretty nice logs in that, but when you only have 13 acres of harvestable wood, you don't have a big timber harvest, nor do you make a living on it, okay? Let me tell you, it just doesn't happen. We ran into the emerald ash borer. You all heard of it. That's what the larva looks like. That's the damage it does. And they confiscated our ash logs, and the protocol was to run through a chipper. Now, you don't think Walt was going to stand for that, do you? Man, I jumped up and down, and this next slide tells the story of how we saved our ash. Got to be careful. But we literally did. I mean, I said, no, you're not going to run those logs through a chipper. I said, you show me a quarter.